I've made mistakes in my life that I'm not proud of. I've kept them with me for a long time, but today I'm ready to share. These are my sweaters. First sweater I made was a dedication to when you run, but I didn't account for the drop shoulder, so the sleeves ended up way too long. Second one, I thought a hood would be a good idea. I was wrong. I also haven't worn this one outside. I'm not going to get into all the hats and accessories I've made, but just know I've never worn any of them. So I wanted this sweater to be different, and I really should have done this voiceover before I made it because I don't know how to make this sound positive. But yeah, the vision in my head was an aran knit sweater because, well, honestly wanted to show off the fact that I figured out how to do that. And to me, that's like the quintessential sweater, you know, you think of someone walking down some Irish cliffside in a cream knit sweater, but I wanted to make sure it looked unique. Like, it had to be something only I could have made, otherwise I should just buy it, you know, instead of investing my time in something like this. So I thought I would use up the orange yarn I had bought to try to make a lion sweater, because I really like that B.O.B. line, lions don't eat vegetables, I mean veggies. But anyway, then I ran out of orange and then I ran out of blue, so I was in this weird phase where I was about to make a sweater vest if I chose either of those colors. And sorry, but sweater vests are fucking ugly, so I decided to go with a third color. Was hot pink the right answer? Probably not, but it's the one I went with. I was convinced since hot pink looks good with blue and it looks good with orange, it has to look good in this sweater. Oh, now I have the top of the sleeve that I need to make. I started knitting like at the end of winter, which meant my hands were fucking freezing off, and it also meant that I was finishing the sweater at the end of summer. I had this like big bundle of knitting in my lap, spread my ass off. So I had a couple of patterns on the sleeve that I basically just crammed in because I couldn't get them into the main body of the sweater. One of them was a braid. I was always trying to figure out how to knit a fucking braid, and if you braid hair, you would think it would translate easily onto a sweater, but it really doesn't. Like, you have to think of it as two alternating strands rather than trying to cross over all the strands at the same time. Also, I did a squiggly shape, I guess, on the borders. That was actually because I made a mistake on the back where I forgot to cross under one of my haired strands when I was doing those twists. It turns out it makes like an S shape. And then that last little clip is me knitting 3 stitches into one to try to do like the ribbing on the sleeve, which didn't end up working because I had too much sleeve and my wrist is like a lot smaller. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but that like blue thing is actually a broken headband. I usually use a full-size knitting needle for this kind of stuff, but it's pretty awkward, and the curve on the headband actually really helped, so happy with that. I just want to take this time to thank Sally for keeping a watchful eye over this project the whole time. She's provided moral support, material support by way of dog hair. If you have a dog, you know dog hair gets in everything, and that includes the sweaters. I don't know if that's gross, but that fur ball actually really helped to like clean the yarn before it made its way into the knitting. So yeah, you know, she helped in more ways than she could ever know. Here I'm just casting off, which I should have looked up because it looks pretty trashy, but anyway, I guess it fits the rest of the sweater. When I finished the sleeve, it was finally time to start putting stuff together, so it's almost over, not quite. The sleeves actually ended up being a different length because I don't count rows when I knit. It's just too tedious and it kind of takes the fun out of it. So when I'm putting the pieces together, I decided to crochet because I feel like I can control my tension a bit more when I do that versus sewing. It sort of ends up kind of lumpy, and crocheting is a bit more reliable. Like, I don't think it's gonna fall apart. So yeah, I thought of if I matched the corners it would sort of help with the shape, but it really didn't because the pink part was like twice as long as the blue part. So it ended up looking lumpy anyway, but I tried. Then I finally finished up putting it all together, and what I got was a doodle bob sweater. I didn't realize I was using their color scheme till the end when I put it on, and I felt like a clown. I feel like there was potential here, but just the way it came together wasn't right. There's something weird about that shoulder. The front doesn't really have enough orange material to make it look okay. The back's kind of nice. Like, the crew neck I did on the neckline kind of by accident actually looks really clean, so I might wear the back as the front. But yeah, I basically learned from this despite the amount of effort you put into something, it doesn't stop it from being trash. Damon and Joe.
Does anybody have a BB gun?
Do you put the sauce on it? Yeah, you made it. My knitting paper. Is it picking up the light though? Yeah. Nice. I don't know how I'm gonna get rid of the nest. Maybe I'll just draw over it. I don't need all of it though.